Hey everyone, today I want to dive into something that has been a big part of my journey, and that is learning to accept my voice and being okay with being heard. And I'm not just talking about the literal sound of my voice, though, trust me, that's part of it. But more than that, it's about finding the courage to say what I think, to express what I feel, and to really stand behind my words without constantly second guessing myself. I used to be terrified of speaking out loud. And it wasn't just the fear of like public speaking, it went deeper. I was worried about sounding dumb or just unlikable. There was this pressure I used to feel like I had to satisfy everyone, to be this universally liked individual, and I had to be an agreeable version of myself. And I am telling you, I lost sight of who I am and who I wanted to be because that is not something I wanted for myself. I did not want to be the person who wanted to be liked by every single individual in the room. And here's the thing, when you try to be palatable to everyone, it's like watering yourself down. You start saying things that don't fully reflect your thoughts, beliefs, or values, and you do it just to make sure you're liked. But the reality is, that's not sustainable. At least it wasn't for me. It definitely wasn't a good representation of who I am or who I wanted to become. I had to come into that realization that in order for me to start hearing my own voice, I had to build some confidence. How did I start finding my voice? Well, first, I had to tell myself it's okay if not everyone agrees with you. It's okay if you're not everyone's cup of tea. I had to get comfortable with the idea that some people might not resonate with my words, and that's perfectly fine. My job isn't to be everyone's cup of tea, it's to be true to myself. And that's where confidence comes in. I realized that in order to stand up for what I believed in, I had to first be confident in who I am. I had to own my opinions, my thoughts, and my voice. And honestly, one of the ways I'm learning to do that is by talking to you guys and to everyone about this journey, talking out loud, even if it's just by myself, just so that I can hear my own thoughts instead of keeping them locked away or just stuck in my head. What I didn't expect was how uncomfortable this process would be. When I started speaking my thoughts out loud, I noticed all these little insecurities popping up. I'd think, was that the right word? Did I say it correctly? Am I using too many filler words? Is my point clear? Do I even make sense? I just had all these questions running through my mind, and it felt like every sentence I spoke sparked a wildfire of doubt. But that's when I had a real aha moment. I'm so I'm scared of sounding stupid. I was so focused on being perfect in my delivery that I was actually holding myself back from expressing what I truly wanted to say. So I had to make a choice. Keep picking at my imperfections or start embracing them and trust that my message was worth sharing, even if it wasn't polished. Looking back at the videos that I created originally on this channel, I was so self conscious in my delivery of the words that I would have to write out scripts and I was repeatedly saying things over and over again. And when I look back at these videos, I didn't sound authentic. I didn't sound like myself. I looked nervous versus when I create videos that I know I'm not going to post. I sound different. I feel more comfortable. I am in the part of my journey where I am actually taking the steps to learn to embrace my voice and communicate better. These steps aren't just about sounding better, but about feeling better and being more confident when I communicate. And I don't know, maybe some of these might resonate with you. And if you have any other advice that you think I should take to improve how I communicate, please let me know. So, the first step I'm going to take is practice speaking out loud to myself, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm also going to be slowing down and embracing pauses. I tend to rush when I speak, partly out of nervousness and because I'm trying to keep the momentum going. But I've realized that there is power in slowing down and giving your words space. Pauses aren't empty, they give you an opportunity to absorb what is being said. And I've started practicing intentional pauses as a way to feel more grounded and less rushed. Another step that I'm taking is listening to myself without judgment. And trust me, that is a very hard thing because I am extremely critical of myself. Listening to recordings of myself used to make me cringe, but I mean, now I still cringe a little bit here and there, but I'm challenging myself to listen back without judgment instead of criticizing my voice or delivery. I'm trying to focus on the message and where I can improve for the next time. Listening objectively is a skill and it's one I'm still working on, but it's definitely worth building and improving in. Another step that I'm also taking, which would be like my fourth step that I'm taking, because this is a 5 step process for me, is choosing words that feel true to me. I've noticed that when I use language that feels forced or overly formal, it makes me feel disconnected from my own words. So I've started focusing on using words and phrases that feel natural to me, even if they're not perfect. I've been it's been extremely freeing to use my own style and trust that it still has value. And the last step that I'm taking is engaging in conversations with others. Now, if you know me, you know I'm very reserved. I keep to myself. I have a very small group of friends, and I'm very consistent with them. And I can be 100 authentically myself, and I never really have to change up. However, I realize that doesn't help me on this journey of improving and growing. And I need to speak to other individuals so that I can broaden my horizons or open up the horizons so that I can learn more from different individuals and also learn from their experiences and gain information. So I am pushing myself to engage in more conversations, whether that's with friends, family, or even in spaces with all of you. Here is where I love to hear from you. Have you ever struggled with finding your voice? Or maybe you found it and you're working on keeping it strong. I think we all have our own versions of this journey. And I just want to hear about yours because I want to know how relatable that is to me or how I can improve. How did you come to feel comfortable with speaking up? Or are you still working on it like I am? Alrighty, guys. So I am actually going to take a nap because I do work night shifts and I do need my beauty rest. So thank you guys for joining me on this journey today and for letting me share this part of my story. And as always, thank you for being on this journey with me.